Hey guys, time for another vlog, but for some reason today seems eerily different from all the others. Let me go check something. It's the 1-year anniversary! That's right, it's been 1 year to the day since my Lorax review. My very first Cinema in Review episode. And you know, I had done a few videos before that, but ultimately I consider my Lorax review to be the beginning, the very start of my dedicated push towards doing more filming. So that's kind of the founding of Phoenix 8 Productions, in my opinion. And where have we come in 1 year's time? You know, as I look back, I'm actually surprised it has been 1 year. It hasn't seemed that long. But, you know, we really have changed quite a bit. You know, this is my 1 year anniversary, so, you know, I've still got a long way to go before it's anything really spectacular, like 100 subscribers, which I hope to get, you know, before my 2nd year anniversary. You know, maybe something special. Who knows? You know, I'd love to do something where, you know, that guy with the glasses has yearly anniversaries. Doing something like that for Phoenix 8 Productions, that'd be awesome. But as of now, it's a little bit out of the way. But anyway, so all this episode is basically going to be is a retrospective on what I've done, some of my personal, but also some of the changes in Phoenix 8 Productions, the things that we've gone through. And also some of my favorite and occasionally least favorite moments. So yeah, let's get started. So most notable in my 1 year since starting is now I've gone through my first series of Cinema in Review, and I run my shows based on series. I'm sure you guys have realized by this point. But I also kind of run it on each series is its own story arc, what I refer to as a saga. I don't reveal I generally don't reveal what the sagas are actually named until after they've been finished. Series 1 is what I called when I was planning it the Overlord saga, because it kind of covers that whole story arc. And Series 2, which it's coming up, so I'm pretty sure you guys could probably guess what the story arc is. It's called the Sendu Saga. So, you know, I've gone through those. I've had some really great episodes, some really popular episodes. Some of my still most popular videos are Cinema in Review. Not my most popular video. No, my most popular video is actually the top 5 worst Power Rangers theme songs, which is one of my top 8s, but, well, sorry, it was the top 8s before the top 8s actually got founded. I'm still been working on some top 8s, you know, I've been so busy with other projects and whatnot, and, you know, those I'll describe some of those with my personals, but, you know, my top 5 worst Power Rangers theme songs is my most popular video. After that, surprisingly enough, me getting hit in the face with a pie. I think it was actually my first random video is actually my most popular. Although some of my other random videos, as I will describe later, have really been getting some some steep numbers. Anyway, the most notable event, other than the Twilight Saga reviews, those remain some of my most popular and some of my most well-regarded reviews, I'll say that. Which is really surprising because they were actually, and this boggles my mind that I actually did this. Series 1 is entirely unscripted. I cannot believe I did unscripted reviews. Oh man, that took so much time and so much energy. But the only other event beyond the Twilight Saga reviews, which were a lot of fun, and that's kind of my favorite moments, or the reviewing of the Twilight Sagas. You know, as surprising as it is, reviewing bad movies are actually some of the most fun. Because I love tearing things apart. I get a joy out of messing with bad movies. And while it can be kind of a pain to watch through them, like New Moon, my reactions to New Moon were actually genuine, and it was really a pain to watch that movie. But the only other event, I'm trying to get to this, is the only other event that was of major notice was Pixar Month. Oh, Pixar Month. Interestingly enough, some of my other really popular videos are Pixar Month, which is very surprising to me. I am not happy with Pixar Month. I believe that to be some of the worst videos I ever made. I feel that I rushed them, which, I just wasn't ready at that time to do one video every 2 days for a whole month. I just wasn't prepared for that. And because of that, I feel that I didn't cover the movies well enough. They were spread too thin, a little too dry. I just didn't enjoy them that much. But they're ultimately very important to the Overlord Saga story arc, so I can't get rid of them. They're there and they're there to stay. But probably more important, and also kind of a big deal, is Pixar Month was really what kind of gave me my break with It's Tale Time. I joined It's Tale Time. I joined up with Gexup and Sendu and Hanu the Honda Makinen. I hope I said that right. I'm really bad with names, pronouncing them and whatnot. But Pixar Month was kind of the push that I actually am serious about doing these video reviews. I mean, a lot of Gexup was initially hesitant about me joining the site because of that big period of absence in between Jack's reviews, which I unofficially call Series 0, and Cinema in Review, the actual start of it. And he was totally legitimate in those concerns. But, so far I've been part of It's Tale Time, and it's been really great. Teaming up with them has allowed, more the potential for crossovers. I've appeared on, the Boo Chow radio podcast, and, that's been fun. There was, I believe, I was part of the Twilight Rants on the Run. That was also one of my personal favorite moments. I really enjoyed the Rants on the Run video. I also believe I appeared on the Animation podcast. But, probably the most notable thing that occurred because of joining It's Tale Time was the collaborations with Sendu. The top 5 best and worst Power Rangers theme songs were, kind of it was something that the two of us had kind of thought over while we were going through testing and whatnot, the high school final testing or something like that. We were talking about those different events that we could do, and that kind of came up, and we knew we wanted to do a collaborative effort, so we made the top 5 best and worst theme songs, which, as I said, is currently my most popular video. But the collaborations with throughout the whole of Sendu Saga has been really fun. Working off of him, bouncing around our scripts. The two of us are really, really funny. At least I hope I'm funny. And playing off each other has made the scripts a lot easier, and I hope more enjoyable for you guys. That's kind of my end goal. I like getting lots of views. I like getting lots of likes. I like getting comments and forum messages, because I like talking with people. I like getting to know what you guys like and don't like. And, my ultimate goal is to provide a source of entertainment. It says there right on the bin, Phoenix A Productions, Entertainment Reborn. That's my whole job, is to provide good entertainment. And so far I feel that I've done that very well. The other big thing that Phoenix Day Productions has done, and this is a much more recent development, at least since January, and I've really tried to keep dedicated and focused on this: vlogs. I've done vlogs basically since the beginning of Phoenix Day Productions, but there was a great deal of period in between where I just didn't, I just didn't do that many. Which is a shame, because these are actually a lot of fun, and they're fairly easy to make, so I could make a lot of them. I've done adventure vlogs with Weekend of Jazz. Part 3 will be coming out. I had an issue with my external hard drive, and it's been solved, and hopefully I'll be able to edit and work through all my videos, and there wasn't any corrupted data. But, hopefully that turns out well. But I've been able to do more vlogs, like doing reviews of TV shows and episodes, and not really reviews, but, just kind of general opinions, my initial reactions. Yeah, I guess that kind of works. A reaction video to certain shows that I like to watch, And those have actually been very popular, relatively. Yeah, that's the thing about a lot of my videos, is I don't get a lot of views, but I think I seem to get fairly loyal views. People who go and see my videos one after the other, which I think comes from the website. I'm hoping that people are visiting the website. I know I've recently redesigned it. I've started it. I'm not sure. I think I started it a few weeks before I joined its tail time. But I didn't really keep up with it until after I joined its tail time, and then I've kept on it pretty standard, and actually I just redesigned it I think about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months, and I really like the redesign. I'm continuing to make some changes in preparation for, some more advancements I'm planning to get in with the site, but, so far it's been really good. I've been getting a lot more views and visitors to the site, which is really, really cool. I guess overall, as far as Phoenix Day Productions is concerned, there have been a lot of really big changes. But there's also been a lot more personal changes in the last year. I left high school at around June, around Pixar month, and that was a lot of fun. I left it around. No, yeah, it was June. I graduated at the beginning of the first couple of weeks of June. I was originally going to do a super spectacular graduation special. In fact, I think I still have some of the recorded video and pictures on this machine. I don't know what I'll do with that footage. Eventually I will probably end up having to either get rid of it or, just upload it all into a folder on my flash drive and just keep it for a couple of years. Show it off to family or whatnot occasionally. But I also joined college. I went into Wright State for my film major. Things have been going with that fairly well, I'm hoping. And, that's been going pretty well. Until recently I was working with Sendu in the major. However, some incidents occurred, and that's, I don't think at the moment, currently happening. But probably the most important thing and the biggest change, besides, being available and, starting to work on actual film projects. Oh, by the way, our class is going into digital film. Yes. I don't like working with real film. Real film seems a little too, unmanageable. I'll say that. I'm unaccustomed to it. It doesn't suit me very well. But digital film I seem to have a pretty good bearing on. But the most prominent feature that my joining college has created is The Optimistic Realist, my radio show. And at the moment, I don't know if anyone really listens. I know a few people listen. I've been having a lot of really great a few great segments. I've finally kind of gotten into the habit of how the show works and what I can do. A few segments that I enjoy doing, like the Brony Song of the Week and Comedy Clip of the Week, the Education Clip, which is always a lot of fun. I try to always go for things on YouTube and the internet community in general, because the Optimistic Realist, in fact, Fantasy Productions in general, really wants to promote the internet economy, basically. I know it sounds really goofy, but that's kind of my end goal, is to help develop and foster a growing internet community, because we are going to have a larger, much more important, and much more economically stable future in the future. It's only going to get bigger and better from here. At least I'm hoping. That's also something else that kind of occurred in the last year, was SOPA and PIPA, which I think was a very, very important in many ways. It showed that we as a community cannot be taken lightly, and that we shouldn't be messed with. Anyway, some of the other major advancements that have come along is, probably most prominently is that I've become a brony, which actually some of my fastest growing videos are brony videos. I think that's kind of interesting, and I know a few people seem to be a little annoyed. Sendu was telling me that Retro Kaiser on It's Tail Time didn't like his initial introduction to my videos because it was the Celestia Ballads cover. No, it wasn't the Celestia Ballads cover. It was my review, or one of the reviews of the MLP episodes, which those were actually a lot of fun to do as well, and I'm gonna do them for more shows, hopefully. Yeah, those Bernie videos were really fast growing, and if there were some of my fans who didn't enjoy watching them, that's why I do a large, wide variety of videos, is so that if you don't like one of my videos, you can always watch one of the other ones. And while I do usually make a lot of self-referential humor, or attempt to, I've been trying really recently to stay more to, I've been trying to develop a few running gags, and most of them I don't think have been entirely successful, but more experimentation. And that's what Series 1 and Series 2 have really been focusing on, experimentation. But, now on to my favorite and least favorite moments. And these are the moments in videos that I like and don't like. And besides just videos, but there's also like appearances on radio shows or podcasts, things like that. Things that I enjoyed doing, and occasionally the things that I didn't like, or I'm a little ashamed of. Some of my favorite moments. I'll just kind of go off favorite moment, least favorite moment. My favorite moment, probably bar none, is the review of the Twilight Saga. My reviews of the original Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn Part 1. Those were really when I was starting to get the hang of how to edit videos and how to I was starting to write basic outlines. I hadn't yet gotten to writing full scripts like I do nowadays, which is why my videos take a lot longer, because I actually have to write a script, edit it, make sure it all looks right, and then film it and edit it. I edit a lot, but that's kind of the those were the videos that I had the most fun. They were kind of the easiest to write for, because I just had to watch them, and they literally wrote themselves. Those reviews were so much fun to write, and finding banter between myself and the subs character, that was a lot of fun. I was starting to develop. I've been trying, and I'm hoping it's successful, trying to establish a little bit of a character difference between myself and the character of Joe, along with giving some character to subs. I'm hoping it comes across well. But for, again, my least favorite moment, I'd probably have to go with Pixar Month. I just didn't like how those videos turns out. I thought they were very, very unprofessional. I'm my harshest critic, and I just don't like how they work. People have said that maybe I should think about redoing them, and one day I might, relook at some of the films and just do a more in-depth analysis. but, you know, at the moment, they're my personal least favorite, but everyone else seems to generally think they're okay. Another one of my favorite moments, it'd probably have to be it's probably would be tied between the Alvin and the Chipmunks review, which is one of my more recent ones. That one was tough. It was really tough to work with because I had a lot of other projects and I had to keep delaying it. But I think the end result was worth it. I enjoyed doing the Alvin and the Chipmunks review, and I got a lot of good reaction from it. But then there was also the Rants on the Run. The Twilight Rants on the Run, which was a lot of fun, and, you know, I was able to play off of Gex Up and Sendu, and, you know, it worked out really well. We were able to do some really fun witty banter back and forth, and I guess I ended up being the most knowledgeable person because I was working on the reviews during that point. Back onto a least favorite moment for me. It would have to be the Boo Chow award, the award show, the Boo Chow award show. I only appeared in a few segments, and the reason for that is there was a little disagreement between myself and my older brother who's living with us, and let's just say that much of the audio was unusable. Anyone who was there during the recording will know what I'm talking about, and to you guys, I'm very sorry. I'm really embarrassed about what he said, but what am I gonna do? He's a 30-year-old. I can't make him do anything. So, you know, this video is probably very, very long at this point, so I'm just going to kind of cut it here. You know, it's been a pretty big year, and I'm hoping that, you know, the next year is going to be even bigger. You know, and, you know, I'm planning at the end of the month to go to Gem City Comic Con, and, you know, there might be a special appearance by somebody. No promises, and spoilers, you know, the whole shebang. There's also going to be GloryCon, which I hope to be on a couple of panels, as well as, this is still in the works. I'm still waiting to get in contact with them, but TrotCon in Columbus, you know, and that one's going to be probably my most difficult to work with, only because of sheer distance and cost. But, you know, I also work on a couple of fantasy stories. You know, I'm going to do some more covers, hopefully, because those have been really good. I really like the covers, even if, you know, I did the Let It Be cover and the sped up version, and, you know, they were pretty fun. I enjoyed making them. There was also some music videos on, in November. I'm hoping I'll be able to work on, off and on, a special music video for an event that occurs in November. Any of you guys who are big sci-fi geeks will know what happens in November and probably what I'm planning. Overall, that's kind of the end of this video. I'm going to wrap it up. See you guys. I'm probably going to release the Weekend of Jazz Part 3 fairly soon, as well as I'm going to try to get a review of Game of Thrones 1 and 2 so that I can be prepared for Doctor Who returning at the end of the month, and if someone is going to allow me to borrow their HBO subscription for 10 weeks, I can review or give my general reactions to the Game of Thrones Season 3. Hopefully. You know, things are looking up, and I hope to see you guys throughout next year. So, see you guys.